Hello and welcome everyone. Today's video features the brand new Tier 9 Italian heavy cruiser Michelangelo. Now the Michelangelo is described in-game as year of design in 1934. The Washington Naval Conference gave Italy the opportunity to build battleships from 1927 and several projects with a displacement of 18,000 to 35,000 tons were under development at the same time. Now, some of these projects relied on foreign designs like the Hood, Nelson and Dunkirk, but some of them were quite unique. The design proposed by Admiral De Feo featured a ship with 8 320mm guns in quadruple gun turrets placed close to the midship frames, while the secondary battery mounts were moved towards the ship's fore and aft ends. Quite a unique setup for this ship. This is the Michelangelo. Okay, so we'll start by having a look at the armor layout. So using the armor viewer here in port, we can see a fore-end plating, lower and upper of 25mm. The main deck is 40mm, upper casemate 40, belt armor 100 and 200. To the stern, aft end plating, both lower and upper, both 25mm. The gun turrets, frontal plate 25, top plate 110, 125 on the side, 100 two different sections, rear plating 125. Now if we turn these up and look at the internal citadel, you can see it is slightly raised. Running from, this is the secondary battery, don't be confused, very unusual gun layout. So it runs from the secondary battery turret in the front to the secondary battery turret in the rear. Here are the main battery gun turrets. Okay, so that's the citadel that ties in directly to the survivability. 70,150 hit points. Quite a lot of hit points, but this is a cruiser. 70,150 hit points, 22% torpedo protection damage reduction. So, quick look at the consumables. The damage control party, 4 repair parties with this build. We'll look at the build in a second. You get 3 of these exhaust smoke generators and hydroacoustic search. This is the current build I'm testing with on the PTS server. I am using the secondary battery mod, just messing around with these secondaries, which extends the range by 20%. Propulsion, concealment, and main battery mod 3. Not quite experimenting with the reload mod quite yet on the secondaries. So I'm using Sansonetti Captain, a couple of bonuses here. This is the Captain build I'm playing around with. Unfortunately, with the cruiser, you can't actually build for secondaries. So that's the build I'm using. So let's look at this very unusual array of main battery and secondary battery guns. So starting with the main battery, you get 2 X4 quadruple turrets, 320mm, and as you can plainly see, they are both centrally mounted here, normally where you would expect the secondary mount to be. So 2x4, you have a reload time of 21.1 seconds. They can rotate 180 degrees in 30 seconds. They have a max dispersion of 191 meters with a max firing range of 17 kilometers. In terms of armament, you get semi-armor piercing shells and armor piercing. These semi-armor piercing have a max damage of 10,250. They can pen 82mm of armor with a shell speed of 830 meters per second. The armor piercing shells have a max damage of 9,700 and the same shell speed of 830 meters per second. Okay, so moving to the secondary battery. Initially, we get 10 twin-mounted 90mm These have a reload time of 2.7 seconds. With this build, they have a max firing range of 8.8 kilometers. They can inflict 2000 max damage, semi-armor piercing secondaries by the way. They can pen 26 millimeters of armor and have a shell speed of 860 meters. So we get an additional 3 quadruple mounted 152 millimeter, also semi-armor piercing. They have a reload time of 6.8 seconds. Same range, 8.8 kilometers. They have a max damage of 3,850. They can pen 42 millimeters of armor and have a fast shell speed of 950 meters per second. So a lot of semi-armor piercing guns. 12 152s and 20 90 millimeter on top of the main battery. So as you can see, very unusual gun layout. The secondary battery located normally where you would expect the main battery to be, and the main battery guns located here in the central frames. A very unusual gun layout. Okay, let's move to the torpedoes. Michelangelo gets 2 X3 launchers, one on each side. They have a 120-second reload, 8 kilometers in range. Quite nasty damage at 20,433 max damage. Quite fast, 72 knots for Italian torpedoes, and they can be detected at 1.7 kilometers. You get the airstrike, the depth charge airstrike, with an operational range of 7 kilometers. 2 available flights, 1 aircraft per flight, each dropping 2 bombs. These bombs have a max damage of 4,200. In terms of AA defense, Michelangelo gets 8 of these sextuple 20mm guns. They're mounted primarily here on the superstructure. 12 of these twin-mounted 37mm that are located all over the ship, including on top of the turrets. These 90mm secondary guns are dual purpose. 10 of these twin-mounted 90mm. They pump out a continuous average damage of 355, and you can see the max firing range is 4.6 kilometers. Michelangelo is capable of firing 7 shell explosions per flak salvo with a max damage of 1330. And again, the priority sector reinforcement is 50% and the firing range is 4.6. In terms of maneuverability, the base speed is 33 knots. You can improve this with the speed flag, the Aeromic, to 34.7. Turning circle radius is 830 meters with a rudder shift time of 14.4 seconds. So finally, the concealment with this build, you get a concealment rating of 63. Detectability range by sea is 10.4 kilometers. You will be surface detected by enemy submarines and aircraft at 8.3 kilometers. Important note here is your detectability range when firing in this exhaust smoke is 10.5 kilometers. So this is the Michelangelo. Quite a unique looking gun layout. Exhaust smoke, signature Italian look, lots of semi-armor piercing guns. Could be quite interesting. This is currently in testing on the PTS server. You can expect to see this on the high seas, in-game, in testing in 12.8 on the live server during the anniversary event. So you'll know what to expect should you see the Michelangelo rapidly approaching you in a exhaust smoke. So I hope you enjoyed this quick little preview video of the Michelangelo. As soon as there is gameplay available, I will share it and update the pinned comment on this video. If you'd like to see some live gameplay, feel free to come over and visit me on Twitch. You can see the link here on screen. I look forward to seeing you all. I'd like to thank you once again all for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. Take a moment to check out some of my most recent videos and leave a comment below. And until the next time, keep sailing it like you stole it.